Hello everybody and welcome. Today we have a speed build on our hands, and what we are building today is this little beauty. And for once we are not doing a residential, we are doing a community lot, and it is a restaurant in Willow Creek for my save file. So I'm excited to build this one with you guys today. So I did not have an inspiration for this build, but I did have a really strong idea as to what I wanted it to look like. The whole idea with the save file that I'm doing in Willow Creek is that it is a more modernized version of what we already have in Willow Creek. Well, not necessarily everything that we have, but a more modernized version of the style of houses and builds that are in Willow Creek. So if you have been following along with my save file series, you'll know we've built in all sorts of worlds. So we are slowly filling it in. If you're not following or haven't been following along and this is your first time, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can come on back and I can remind you when the next save file build is up. Because I have quite a few builds coming out every week, and you can sort of see all the different things that I'm doing. So the whole vibe with the build is, as I mentioned, sort of a modern take on the traditional sort of look of Willow Creek. So it will slowly come together. You can sort of see the touches when I start to decorate the Willow Creek feel of it. I think I did that with the roofing and with like the fencing. It still sort of had that Willow Creek feel to it, and I think the colors as well. I didn't go like super crazy on the gardens or anything like that. I kept that fairly simple as well. But the whole vibe that I'm going for with this particular restaurant is upscale but not super fancy, modern but not ultra modern. Just somewhere that is like really nice to go for a date, and it can be romantic, or it might be like a group meal where you're going out and you're celebrating something, or it's kind of like one of those restaurants where it would be like really good for a lunchtime or a dinner, but in different sort of areas. So you see, we could just come around the back here, and I'm just setting up kind of like the lunchtime sort of summertime kind of area. And I wanted to go like nice and bright, so I've gone with the teal on this one, and I'll carry that sort of through. I use more of a green on the inside of the restaurant, but yeah, so it's sort of a greeny vibe is the colour that I'm going for the restaurant. But this is kind of the lunchtime outdoor around the back kind of area, and then like in the evenings you would head more upstairs, and there's going to be like dining on the balcony, so that's going to be like romantic tables for two, so you can look out and enjoy the beautiful view and gaze into each other's eyes and all those romantic things that you do on romantic dates. And speaking of romantic, I'm using the romantic garden stuff pack flowers by coincidence. I really love these flowers. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. I don't keep the blue. It was just a little bit too colourful for what I wanted. I wanted to go a little bit simpler as far as the colour palette goes. So I actually end up changing those to white a little bit later on when I do the front garden, and then I make the executive decision to change to a white. And I'm just using the Dine Out, you know how you get those heated type of lamps? That's what those are. So I was just using that from the Dine Out pack. You get those. That was rather handy. I don't think I'd use those a lot, so I was quite happy to actually see those and use those. I was like, oh, those are a good idea. You see those out at restaurants and stuff, so I was like, that's absolutely perfect. And guess what? This is my very first restaurant that I've built. I've never built a restaurant before, so I was quite excited to get stuck in and do something a little bit different, because I don't build community lots very often, so the opportunity to do that with the save file series is a great thing for me, because I'm going to be able to stretch my wings and do some different types of builds, which I'm quite excited about. I love mixing it up a little bit. Although, you know, it's really nice to do something sometimes that you are really super comfortable with as well. You just feel like this is your home territory, and, you know, you just sort of ease into it and relax and just have a good time. But I actually had quite a good time building this. It wasn't too tricky, but it was a little bit different with some different things that I got to do, like choose the uniforms for the staff and choose the menu for the restaurant and stuff like that as well. So that was absolutely fun. So I was just fixing the roof there so that it worked on the top, the third floor building room. So you can see the green clapboard going in there. So that is part of the Willow Creek vibe, is having the clapboard on the outside. I'm just putting the freezers in at the moment just to add that little bit of decoration. It's quite often I can't actually use freezers with a lot of the builds that I do, so I'm usually quite excited to use the freezers when I get the opportunity. Yeah, I know, I'm a little build nerd, aren't I? So just getting those in. I'm just changing the base game stone, because I think I use the white base game stone, and I'm just changing that to the grown together grey, and the roof is changing colour again. It is going to stay grey this time. It went from like grey, green, grey, green, grey, grey. Yeah, it changed quite a lot of times. I just couldn't quite, yeah, it wasn't quite working no matter which combo I did. Then finally I changed the stone, and then that all came together. So once again, I'm using the romantic stuff pack, garden stuff pack around the front, and this is when I decide to change around the back as well, but I think I just skip over it in the video. But you get the gist of the colours. So then I get to choose the door, and I end up using the get together doors because I thought they sort of had like quite a nice modern touch to them, and colour wise they worked really nicely with the rest of the builds. They kind of had like a greeny grey sort of tinge to them, and yeah, that worked. So I'm just using the City Living benches, and I think that's a Seasons matte, I think, possibly, or maybe high school years. No, oh, never mind, I can't remember. So the good thing about this is I was using medium-sized walls for the bottom and second floor, and then the top floor is a small-sized wall. So I actually got to use some of the larger windows for once, which I hardly ever get to do because I don't do a lot of medium-sized walls. So it was nice to mix it up as far as using some different windows that I don't often get to use. I was quite excited by that. So you can sort of see the top area there, which is going to be a staff room area for the staff, and I'm just going to decorate the porch out there, and that's going to be for them just to sit out there and relax on a nice summer's evening, you know, having a chill out from the customers who are demanding and wanting their attention all of the time, just like children. I laugh. I haven't really worked in the food industry. Well, I did work in the food industry for one summer job when I was a teenager, and I hated it, so I never went back. So I really commend anyone that can stick it out in the food industry. You are amazing. So I am now working out the stairs situation. So this is going to be the stairs up to the third floor. And I never know whether or not to call it the second floor or the third floor, because it's like ground floor, first floor, second floor, or like you just have the first floor can be the ground floor, and then you have the second floor as the second floor, and the third floor is, you know what I'm saying, right? It can be confusing, so I'm just going to call it 1, 2, 3 because that's just easier in my mind. So this is the ground floor. Just completely ignored the whole thing that I just said, and you can see the kitchen will be going off to the left, bathrooms will be going in by the stairs, and then that's the host station in by the door, so that they can have the host by the door greeting the customers, and then I'm putting in a door there that'll go through to the kitchen, and that I will have to move later because I forgot about the whole chef station thing needing to stick through the wall, and I need to change that around. So this is going to be the little bathroom. So I just kept it really super simple. I figured it's a bathroom in a restaurant. You know, you don't need to have anything too fancy or complicated. Just clean and functional is, you know, it's not a 5-star fancy millionaires visit this regularly kind of restaurant. It's a everyday sort of person on a nice evening out kind of restaurant, you know. So I just put the toilets in little cubicles and then just added the decorations. So you've got like the basic sink going in there. I actually used what did I use? Oh, the Eco Lifestyle one, because it had like that touch of blue or the teal, which kind of worked with the colour that I end up using in the room. So I was like, you know what, that's actually kind of perfect. I have not tested this out, so hopefully this all works okay. I will go and play test it hopefully before I put it up on the gallery. That's the plan anyway. So I think it should be all good. I don't think there's anything particularly tricky here that'll cause any issues, but I guess the odd things happen here and there. So I didn't quite have the roof right, like it was still connected with the wall there. I think you can probably just see that off in the corner. So I needed to, I just tweaked that a little bit. I just moved the wall out one and then just fixed the height of the roof, and Bob's your uncle, that was all okay. So we're upstairs on the 3rd floor, or the 2nd floor if you're counting the 1st floor as the ground floor. It's just so confusing. So this is the staff area and this is the bathroom. So I just made it, you know, so they could go in there, have a good clean up. Maybe someone spilt, or maybe someone, like, it's gone dramatic and like there were 2 Sims arguing in the restaurant and one of the Sims threw like wine at the other Sim, except the waiter got in the way and the waiter got covered in wine. So, you know, they've got to have like a shower in the restaurant somewhere, so that the staff can clean up from this little dramatic happenings that happen in the restaurant scene. So yeah, so they've got to have their staff area where they can have a rest and relax and a chill out, and also clean up if disaster strikes. And you know the Sims, there's going to be drama, there's going to be disaster, so they've definitely got to have their cleanup area. So you can, because it is blocked off, you can actually set that, lock that for employees only as well, so that the customers don't get up there. So I'm just working on the little office area at the moment. And I do end up locking this off as well. I wasn't 100% sure as I was building it if I was going to do that, but I kind of felt like it made sense to block that off, because you want to sort of block out the noise of the employees having their breaks if you're, you know, like your managers sitting in there doing their paperwork and whatnot. So yeah, it did make sense to me to block that off. And I'm just putting in these really cool little filing cabinets that I found. I'm not sure which pack they're from, but they were quite nifty. So I was like, ooh, I could use those. Just threw a few more bits and pieces in there, and that office is done. Finished with a nice little rug. So I'm using the Home Chef Hustle kitchen for the staff. I didn't put like an oven in here or anything. I kept it really simple, so like, you know, I fully expect they're just having quick meals. They're not like up here cooking. If they need to have a cooked meal, they can just order something from the restaurant, was kind of the idea. So basically they can have a quick meal, and there's a dishwasher and probably a sink. I think a sink going in there as well. Yeah, a sink and a dishwasher, and for some reason a food processor. I don't know why. It just looked good. Food mixer. So just putting in the table there, kept it pretty simple, and then I was just brightening it up a little bit because it blended quite a lot with the wood underneath it. So I was like, right, it needs a nice bright carpet underneath, and I'm just going to use the teal. And that finished that off. So then I just doing the last little touches with a couch, coffee table and a rug, and that's where the staff can put their feet up and have a nice rest before they go back to work. So then moving downstairs, we are going to build the little host area. So I did want to have like it sort of sectioned off a little bit, and ignore what I'm about to do, it just looks terrible. I was just kind of spitballing ideas, and it was just like a bad idea, and I sat on it for a little bit and I was like, no, I don't like that at all. So yeah, please ignore that. It will change. It looks meh. Meh, I tells you, meh. So I will change that. But you kind of get the idea of what I'm going for with the little closed off sort of area, so that, you know, it's a clear definition for customers to stay out of there. You know, it's like, this is our area, don't come in here. It's kind of the idea behind it. So I've just got like a little waiter station, and there'll be another one of those around the other side of at the back of the stairs, where the kitchen sort of entrance will be, or the kitchen opening thing, you know, where you get the food from. I don't know what it's called, the pass. I know it's called the pass, whether or not that's what it's supposed to be called, I don't know. Anywho, we're moving on to the kitchen. So this is where I'm figuring out that I actually stuffed this up. So I'm just moving the door over there and then moving the chef station there. So there's a nice little area for the waiters to pick up their meals from after the chef's done their cooking. And I made it super big. And it's a really nice big kitchen. I'm using the Cool Kitchen Stuff counters in the grey. That is the Nectar Cooler from Dine Out. I actually appreciate that they sort of went back to the whole nectar thing with Horse Ranch. I think that was very clever, you know, because it was already established in the game with Dine Out, and they're just like, you know, continued on with the how to make it with the Horse Ranch. So I think that's pretty cool. So just getting the counters in there, and then I'm going to add in a couple of dishwashers, a couple of sinks, all the fire hazard stuff, and the bins. That's right, I was like struggled a little bit with where to put them. I was just like, oh, stuff it, I'm just going to put them under the counter. So I shrunk down some dishwashers and did that, and throwing in all the appliances there and little bits and pieces. So I think I muck around with those a little bit, but I don't think I show that. I'll just put in and start working on the clutter side of things, because we need our clutter in a kitchen. It's got to be, you know, looks like it's functional and that sort of thing. So you have like a few ingredients and utensils and stuff, and plates going up the wall. So I wanted to have like a nice amount of storage for the plates, because obviously you're going to go through the plates. Unfortunately, we don't really have wine glasses or anything like that I could use, or if there is, I've never seen them. But yeah, I don't think there is. There's like mugs, but there's no like wine glasses or anything. So oh, that's alright, we'll just pretend they're there. You know, you would think there would be some there though, because I mean, you know, when you're like using the bar and stuff, you get glasses. So why don't we have glasses? Don't know. Anywho, I'm just putting in some mats, and we're about done with the kitchen. So I'm just using the Spa Day wooden mats. I felt like they were appropriate for a kitchen rather than like a carpet mat. That made more sense to me. So then moving into the restaurant area, I'm going to create like a little welcome area and bar area. So I'm just decided on a bar pretty quickly, but then I had to decide on a bar back, because I thought having a bar back would actually be quite cool. There isn't anything really modern as far as the bar backs go, so I went with the most appropriate one that was there. So it does have a little bit more of a traditional look to it, but I do feel that it does work with the restaurant as it is. And I'm just using the Dream Home Decorator seating, so I thought, well, that works for the waiting area, you know, really big waiting area, or you can just sit there and socialize if you want to as well. Or if you're playing rags to riches, maybe you need a nap. I don't know. And I really love that the teal carpet actually pops really nicely with the paler green walls. I think that's really quite lovely. So just using, that's a high school years chair, and I didn't catch what the table is. I feel like it must be high school years table, but I'm not 100%. And what I'm doing is just creating like a living wall with the eco lifestyle wooden slats, which you can get wall decorations, and also the ivy from Cottage Living as well. And just using the beautiful Blooming Rooms kit, a little bit of the plant that hangs down, and some of the appropriate paintings on the wall. So I had these little nooks around the corner that I needed to fill, and I was like, you know what, this is right by a waiter's station, so perfect idea, why not put some stuff in there that like would be really handy for customers, like your condiments, salt and pepper and stuff like that. So that's what I use those little spaces for. I kept it really simple around this area because you're going to be walking to and fro. It's a functional sort of busy area, so I didn't want to fill that with stuff that would be in the way. Just using the Dine Out food pictures there, and the Dream Home Decorator bench and coffee table, just for a little waiting area if someone's waiting to head outside or waiting for someone and there's no space in the other waiting area. And just using the Dine Out tables as well as the Dream Home Decorator chairs. And then I'm just going to put in City Living mat. Actually, I really like that I changed the colour on that mat because that popped a lot more. And just using a couple of planters there as well. And then I think we are ready to head upstairs. So I did change the stairs. I wasn't happy with those being wholly blocked off. It just blocked off a whole big area. So I actually just created a little narrow alley basically for the stairs to go up, and then blocked them off and put a door on the end so they were still functional and the staff could still get up there. And then I put the cute little signs on the door that says stairs, and then another cute sign down there for toilets. And I was like, yay, I get to use those cute little signs. So on the second floor, we've got like the little romantic balcony for those evenings that are fine and warm and you want to have a lovely sort of quiet evening with your beloved one. So I did try and make it a little bit more secluded with plants in there. So that's kind of, instead of like the dividers that I end up using up on the second floor, I kind of wanted to use plants instead. So I'm using the Oasis kit. There's another word in there, I can't remember it for the life of me. And just the base game potted palms. Oh my gosh. And that's kind of like what I used for the dividers to create the illusion of privacy. But in the inside here, I actually use actual dividers to create the illusion of privacy. So just, I think that's the wedding stories pack tables. I'm pretty sure those bigger tables are wedding stories. And then I think the smaller ones are dine out, I think. And what pack is that divider from? Ugh. I want to say Get Famous, but I could be wrong. I keep on missing what it is. So yeah, so the little tables are Dine Out and the larger tables are Wedding Stories, and the chairs are Dream Home Decorator. I actually do go through and put like some little decorations on each of the tables as well. So I used either candles or flowers on the tables just to add a little bit more prettiness to the tables. But I think I do that off camera. And then around the corner, in that space that I did have blocked off for the stairs, I actually put like a big banquet table. So I did change this around a bit off camera after I did the tours. I think I added a rug, and I'm not 100%, but I may have changed some of the wall pictures. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure I put a rug in there. So if you want to see that, you'll have to download it from the gallery. So just getting some decorations up on the walls and making some big decisions about that. Once again, I'm just sort of keeping with the green theme, and I'm going back to the technique that I used downstairs with the living wall and just adding in the wall slats from the Eco Lifestyle Pack, as well as the ivy from the Cottage Living. And I think that's quite a neat effect. You know, it's like a contained living garden on the wall, and I think that's cute. So I've just got one little space there in the corner, and then I've got this whole big wall that I need to decide on. But then Eco Lifestyle came to the rescue once again. Thank you very much, Eco Lifestyle. And I'm just using these green wall panels here, which I absolutely love and I use all the time. I mean, I adore that pack. I think it's amazing, and I love that it's quite cheap as well for the most part, so it does keep the cost of your build down a little bit too. And then I'm just using the Desert Luxe curtain rails along the top just to edge those off, just so that it looks a little bit fancier, I guess. That was really the whole idea behind that. And just fiddling around with the last little bits of decoration, but that is us. We are done. We can take a wee tour of our building. And so you can sort of see the sign on the outside. Just tweaked a few things on the outside just to make it look more restaurant-y and less like a fancy home. But you know, that's what restaurants sometimes do look like they're just in somebody's home. So I feel like it does still speak to Willow Creek, particularly with the roofing and the clapboard and the fencing. I feel like those sort of edge those traditional elements that are familiar from the Willow Creek area. You can see the seating around the back there with our lovely heat lamps, and the seating up on the balcony as well for those romantic evenings. If you are wondering, that is a community lot pool right beside the restaurant there that is available on the gallery, VelvettB. if you'd like to download that as well. It's just a lovely little 30 by 20 bar and community pool. So going inside, you can see all the lovely modern vibes. I love the dark floor with the green. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. And I love how modern and spacious an area it feels like. It feels like a really nice area, but you can imagine it, you know, full of Sims hustling and bustling. I'm really excited to actually try this out and see how the Sims go in this, and how all the staff look in the uniforms I've designed, and how the menu eats and that sort of thing. I actually just chose all the fancy stuff, to be honest, the stuff that was most expensive, or the you know, the stuff that you need to take photos of. I can't remember the name of it. And then it's a lovely kitchen, so there's like lots of clutter. It looks like it's functional and used and busy, and yeah, you can sort of see lots of staff hustling and bustling around there. And up to the second floor, you've got all the main tables up on this floor. So I imagine it's probably quite a pain for the waiters to bring all the food up here all the time, but oh well. I think the Sims can live with that. And you can see all the flowers and stuff that I've put on the tables there just to cuten them up. And I added some candles and some flowers and stuff to the banquet table as well. And then heading upstairs, this is the staff area up here with the Home Chef Hustle kitchen. And oh yeah, I changed the mat up there. I took away the teal. So that is our build. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, if you want to come back and see some more. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.